I got the names correct. Thank you so much. I personally, and I think I'm not the only one, I've learned so much from you two. It was such an amazing experience. I've learned the importance of relationships, the difference between a contact and a contract. Yes. So it's quite amazing. You've taught us to always listen but not have a selfish mind. Now we need to go back home, we need to go back to our businesses, we need to sit down and assess. We shouldn't be the only ones benefiting from relationships, is that it? But now we need to ask our employees what we are adding into their own lives, what we are pouring into them, so that they can give and we can give. So it's a mutual relationship. And so we just want to thank you so very much. With that, Miss Tanya, please come through and help us to present our small tokens of appreciation to our lovely, lovely guests.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Gloria. Miss Shami Suchikara, may you please come forward. So, for and on behalf of the Tanyaradzwa Initiative, we want to say thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much for the passionate message delivery. And thank you so much for, looking ravishing. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madame Chantal. Thank you so much, Madame, for that amazing presentation. The nuggets of wisdom, it was just, nuggets after nuggets. So thank you so much for the acceptance of the invitation and, the passionate message delivery. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Madame.
Amelia Jefferson. Wow, thank you. Ma'am, thank you, sir. I'm challenged personally because now I thought I knew myself. I don't. I need to check my ego now. I need to check and see if that toxic environment really was just the bad environment where it was me. Thank you so much. We've learned so much on EQ today, emotional intelligence. It has helped us. It will take us far as we're growing. So we'd just like to call upon Tanya. Please come and help us present our gifts to Mr. Jefferson and Amelia. Thank you.
Mr. Jefferson, thank you so much. I remember talking to you on the media that I was using. The Tango Kanda but then this is not telling story, watch out my invitation. And the way he was, oh wow, amazing profile. I love, contributing towards the education of women. I was amazed. So thank you so much for the amazing work you're doing. We really appreciate it. Madame Emilia, guys, she is a legend. This woman is a legend. And I really, really appreciate the support that you give us. She is a very busy woman wearing different hats. I think Mongolia didn't make a profile. But she took time to come and educate us and to empower our lives. Madame, we appreciate. And to just watch her, she sings choir. She's amazing. She's an amazing singer, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm the next time. But I'm going to now go lunch.
I normally sing with my husband is the best.
So thank you so much, Madam. We appreciate you.
All right, I'm going to hand over back to, she's here, the MC. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's give them a round of applause. And now we're going to have a performance performance by Carol. Can we please clap hands for Carol as she comes up front?
Two, three is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
My streets are go far, the streets are calling. My streets are go far. You guys are calling. If you may stand up with your voice. Yeah, the streets been calling early in the morning. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I'm down, I want to be fighting. Fighting and hiding. Doesn't have hiding. The streets been calling early in the morning. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I'm down, I want to be fighting. Fighting and hiding. Doesn't have hiding. Shantara Angel, that's long ago. As for now, I'm good to go. The wire song was the creator soul. I no cup and the close the door. Then to my life and post the toe. Post the cheat, you ain't to know. All these streets wanna blame me on it. I'm done, homie. Hands, we are kunon and my friends. Nas, loku Tagwira in a bed. Chama, she can mess at my titans. This is now not back to the days of the streets that I change my ways. My streets are go far, the streets are calling. My streets are go far, the streets are calling. The streets are calling. The streets are calling. The streets, yeah. The streets been calling. I live in money. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I could die on fighting and happy, just in a happy. The streets been calling. I live in the money. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I could die on fighting and happy, just in a happy. Still my louder, okay, to breakfast, still my daughter. Don't get shocked when I get any come. If you walk on in the door for sun as this, when I have peace of mind, when I know what's mine. Still my prime, my streets on the time. Who put on my streets to commit a crime? Busy couldn't be phone error for my chills. Me right so now running my deals. You know the girl should hit radio. Used to party but now we party. Got that mama cause then I felt it. I changed myself and then I prayed. The streets are calling. The streets are calling. The streets are calling. The streets are calling. The streets. Yeah, the streets been calling early in the morning. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I could die on the party. Fighting and hyping, stressing and hugging. The streets been calling early in the morning. Auntie, I couldn't talk so I can tell it. But I could die on the party. Fighting and hyping, stressing and hugging. Yeah. Hey, hi guys. Hello. My name is Carol Icey. I'm a rapper. Yes, I'm an aspiring rapper. So this is my track called Life. I see. Wow, baby. To go to life is better. As good alive, life is bitter. To good alive, life is greater. As good alive, life is bitter. Innovate, life is greater. As good alive, life is bitter. To good alive, life is greater. As good alive, life is bitter. Innovate, life. That's why life you to every day, not fucking night. Life can get you to every day. I'm not want a better life, check how we chambo up. Very rich, me say man, it's how you van no love. See now, quite your even love. Even the Bible says there is life after death. So well, just go and hold your breath. First thing in the morning, go and take a bath. Then you start your life, couldn't lie. Quite a dark. Life yepti unotenga usnafunke prize. Life yepti nyango ziwo no toida advice. Life ye mashua kwete ya ye buy. Life yepti sorry can't lie. Life is better. As good alive. Life is bitter. To good alive. Life is greater. As good alive. Life is bitter. Innova. Life is better. As good alive, life is bitter. To good alive, life is greater. As good alive, life is never meet. Life now, paying you are two different things. Even in now, what's in now, my different view. That's why she never choose and then Nina overfills and the deals. That's why say bad, don't put confused. When we talk about life, sometimes we overdose. Don't not talk, Gara, pass it down, we close the doors and we talk. Not about some jokes, but the life that we need, not the life that we want. Life you're too no tenga usna punke pride. Life you're too young with zero no toy advice. Life you're mashuwa kwete ya ye buy. Life you're too sorry can. Life it is better. As good a life. Life it is better. To good a life. Life it is greater. Akuna life. Life it is better. Innova. Life it is better. As good a life. Life it is better. Life. How many of you want a better life? Life. Okay. So this is a love song. It's called One Daughter. One Daughter. I see.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Carol Icey.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be moderating this exciting conversation. I think with my brother Tinaani, we have shared a platform together for quite a time. And last time I missed it. What is the moment? But today, that it is, I know you are running. But it's about hold in China. Madam, we asked me to take again a quick census. We want to see a bit of those who are in relationships. Just raise your hands. Serious ones. Let's not be serious. You see, my brother, my sister, my neighbors, and that gives me the opportunity now to ponder the first question. How does one build a very healthy relationship at an individual level with the next person they so-called in love with, and also within this current pandemic era? Let me start with you, say, the relationship coach.
It's such a pleasure to me, honestly. I always say, whenever I'm going on a platform, I always say, I'm going with my favorite. There's a reason why I like her. You will know later. Alright, so it's such a pleasure to be here. And just to appreciate the previous speakers as well for the wisdom that they've actually shared without wasting much of your time. So how does one actually build a relationship with themselves and then with others as well? Alright. So the first thing I know, this is Africa, right? And one thing that I noticed, there are certain things that we think are not important, but they're very important as you grow and as you mature, especially in relationships. Number one, you need to have a solid relationship with God. I know maybe you're not a Christian, maybe you don't go to church, but the first thing that I realized, a solid relationship with God would make you have a solid relationship with yourself. Right? If a person knows their God, it is God who has the manual as to who you are as a person and what you're supposed to become and what you are. And when you know that you know your God, you are able to know yourself. So by knowing yourself, you have a healthy level of self-love. I know self-love sounds so, I don't know, I love myself, self-love. It sounds so, I don't know the right words to actually call it, but self-love just sounds like it's something that is not real or something that is not there or something that is just written in a book by an author somewhere. But self-love is real. You only understand it when you reach that particular level of self-love. So the first thing that I've realized is build a certain level of self-love. By self-love, I mean loving yourself, loving the parts of you that you even think people don't even love. How are we able to love you if you don't know, if you don't love the parts of you that you think are not lovable? For example, people always ask me this question wherever I go, what you speak about in your height? You're like, say Nick is this height. I'm like, do you know I chose this height? And people are like, what are you saying? I say, Jeremiah says, "For I knew you before you were born, and I ordained you a prophet unto Israel," which means Jeremiah had a conversation with God before he came on this earth. I had a conversation with God before I came on this earth. God, I'm going to be like this. God told me I'm going to be like this. You're going to be doing this. I was like, no, I think I would love this body where they're going to love tall, dark, and handsome guys. And I'm going to show them that even if I'm this height, I'm going to sweep them off their feet. So I chose this particular body and I love it. The skin that you have, you're supposed to love it. If you think that every part of you has a flaw and then people are not going to love you because you don't love yourself. Loving yourself is loving every bit of you, to your height, to your body, to your skin, to everything, even your particular family. You chose your family. Yeah, I know this is going to be controversial. You chose your family. You knew the capacity that you had, and then you said, God, I want to be born in this particular family. So you chose your family, you chose your skin, you chose your body, you chose everything about you. Once you have this understanding, you're able to love yourself even better. So how are you able to build a certain level of connection with yourself, love yourself, be transparent with yourself? I know boys, those ones on neighbor, we're not transparent with ourselves. We go to a girl, and let me be very honest with you. If you're not transparent with yourself, anyone is not going to be transparent with you. Transparency comes from you first. If you're transparent with yourself, this is what I bring, these are my weaknesses, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. This is what we call self-love. Self-love has a lot of layers that I'm not going to get into since it's a broad subject. But self-love starts from this understanding. I just gave you an example. I love myself. If I walk into a room, I love myself. You can literally just feel it, that this person really loves themselves. That's what we call self-love.
Wow. Yeah, and as they are speaking, right, especially to the ladies in the house, please list down the qualities of a man that you love. And this is self-love, isn't it? If you want someone with a Christian Jewish height, like my brother JS, please make sure it's very, very open and eligible, right? My sister, you've heard from the tall man himself speaking the words of impact. What's your take on this question?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Chuptanga, they read the wrong profile. I'm 31 years old. I'm not 21. Everything they read is not updated. But anyways, we move. How do we build healthy love relationships? I'm very firm on foundations. And a foundation yenye yakashika, relationship inoshika. For example, these days there is this gospel, spread everywhere. Like, whatnot. If your foundation in that relationship is to get money or to be sponsored to have that soft life, foundation will not last you, will not make the relationship firm. It will not last. And it's really zvakakosha zvokuita focus on. As much as we don't want to date broke guys, ariko varume vekuti unogona kuleya a good foundation with, but achitoone bek. Kozoya umwe wokuti apo wangoteya bek iroro kudonhedza one day. Totesi. Saka your foundation has to be very firm.
That's right.
And the issue of honesty, you cannot have a healthy relationship without honesty. The honesty I'm talking about is you being honest with yourself. What do you want? If you're going to be true to yourself, my energy is saying I'm of nature. But if you're going to lie to yourself, but I want love when you want money. I want love when you just want to get married. I believe a healthy relationship is built on love, true love, which consists of honesty and mutual respect. Iwo ukaona uriwo uri kungoremekedza munhu but tsano vachingokutsika-tsika, you're in the wrong relationship. You will regret it. Hallelujah. Respect haina kusikwa yakanzi inongopiwa kuvarume chete. Even as a woman, you deserve respect. Just as love is not meant to be received by women only. And it's better pane mavhesi anongozopfunyikizwa nevanhu zvichinzi murume anogoda respect, vakadzi vanongoda love. I believe I'm really doing men too are very emotional and they deserve love. Vanoda kupambiwa, kutwatwa naso. Vanoda kuemedzwa so. That need inoreva kuti murumewo anoda love, mukadzi anoda love. Mukadzi anoda respect, murume anoda respect. Saka, a strong relationship and a very healthy relationship is built on this healthy foundation. Mandibata.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think this deserves another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. In Shona, they say, Chimu Sakasa, you know, say? Chimu say? Imagine all ladies, especially get a brother. Ladies and gentlemen, patent how you're also shaking was kind of negative. This is when I come flash up to it. Nice. Love. Wonderful. And point number 2, she emphasized more on foundation. The Bible says the strongest foundation is Jesus Christ, right? Timothy said that the man China is the public opo askana words now see but you brega. Now, moving on with our conversation, my brother. There are so many issues that you've touched in your writing, in your speeches, when you speak as a relationship coach. And I love how you emphasize about the common mistakes that young people do in relationships. And please talk to us about those mistakes and basically also how we can, so that no longer young. On how they can also avoid such mistakes.
I think that the first and most common mistake in our own is we get in relationships for the wrong reasons. Like what Alice was saying, we get in relationships for the wrong reasons, and we also don't understand kuti. I always say the anonymity. Can they say really boss? Let me actually say this. I really cringe when I hear this Ajna formula, right? I know people say this, right? People say Ajna formula. That's why we are failures in our love lives, but we are succeeding in our careers. You go to school for 7 years to study a degree, right? And you are successful in your career. But tell me right now, how many of you have books on marriage and relationships? Right? If you notice, go into any environment, you'd notice that people think that relationships are automatic, or living with a person is automatic, or loving someone is automatic. I always say this, that if it takes 7 years to operate on a heart, who told you that it will take even 1 month to take care of one? Right? If a doctor goes 7 years to just operate on a heart, you winda uchifunga kuti azvina formula kuswera uchengeta moyo munhu. Right? I want you to think about it. Number 1, the first mistake is we lack wisdom. We lack information. We are not intentional in studying on relationships, on living with the person. Right? Question 1. Especially guys. Sorry, but men, we need to do better. You ask a man, right? I noticed this on our conferences. 80% vakadzi, 20% men. Murume wese anongofunga kuti it's automatic kuti ndatongowana mukadzi, I'm going to know how I'm able to take care of her. Ukamubvunza kuti chinonzi affection chaicho chii, hazivi. Yet you don't even understand women need affection. Right? You get married, you're going to be demanding sex every time. Who told you that affection is sex? Of which sex could be the result of affection. But there's no one who can teach for. And you see what I'm trying to say? So if a man doesn't understand that, you get into a relationship, you want to go for marriage, and marriage, you are having troubles, you're not understanding. Why is it mukadzi wangu relation to my problems again? And it feels like she's blaming me of the same problems that she's talking about. No, she's not blaming you of the problems. She just wants you to have a listening ear, because women are like that. They just want you to listen, even if you don't provide a solution at that particular point. But how would you know that if you have not learned? So the first mistake that we make, wisdom. We lack wisdom. We're not intentional in starting on relationships, and we're not intentional in starting marriage unit was a question. Why do you want to get married? Right now, as you're thinking, you notice, I don't even know the reason why I want to get married. Those that are single, even those that are married, if I ask you this question, why did you get married? Think about it. You notice that your reasons will already tell you that we are lacking wisdom. So the first mistake that we make is wisdom. What is the wisdom? I'll just touch this briefly, then I'll pass the mic so that the first mistake that we make is that we don't know the reasons why we are getting into relationships. Number one, you don't go for marriage because purpose. Look at everywhere. This, I'm gonna say this, and to a man, because it's the same issue. And even for people that come to me, people might be shocked. Yes, there are people that are 40 years old that would come to me for advice. And you notice what I get a divorce. Why? Like I've been a pastor for the last 20 years, but a pastor. I've been living in this marriage for over 20 years, but it's been a living hell. Yes, I was married, but I was suffering. So that's why I always say the purpose comes first before marriage. We are not born for marriage, but we marry for what we are born for. So what you are born for is what will cause you to marry. Because marriage is not a destination, but it is the resource that you need to reach your destination. So if you marry the right person according to your purpose and your vision, you're going to go to the right place and the right destination that God called you for. I always say this, especially to girls, right? If you are bound to choose who you love for what you love, always choose what you love. Because what you love will not go away, but it will choose you. It will choose for you who to love. Who to love would go, but what you love would actually expire. If what you love would expire for who to love, then always choose what you love. So what you love comes first before who to love. Because what you love should always select for you who to love. That's purpose for you. So your purpose first before marriage. That's the wisdom there. This one is the gospel that I'll preach everywhere. Where than say purpose first before marriage. Because you don't want to discover your purpose one marriage. Stay home wife. Or especially as a man, you're a pastor. Imagine marrying your wife and that is painful. That is painful. Even if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you can play football all you want, but you want your wife at the stadium cheering you on. That means you are choosing somebody who's compatible with your destiny, somebody who understands what you love and knows that I'm going to support what you love. Look at the especially with the men. Why do you take a lawyer and start at 5 years? I want you to be a stay-at-home wife. You don't stay at home wife. It's as simple. We are taught destiny compatibility. You choose Muna and we enter an national. What I say? As you wrote me, some of my accountants. Your man could be a pastor and you're an accountant, but your man supports your vision and your dreams. Right. Simple. So destiny compatibility, that's the wisdom. Number 2, spiritual compatibility. Marry within your beliefs, guys. I'm telling you, I know of a certain couple that divorced over a prayer altar, but you always a maripa altar. I don't like that. But I'm thinking I'm vegetables. You fight over that. So thank you so much.
Okay.
just to add a little, I believe it is one of my job. It's good that he's asking questions first. He doesn't where don't go, you know. Well, common mistakes young people make in relationships. The first one is not setting boundaries. There is this notion iripo kunzi musikana ane maboundaries akawandisa sterek anoshaya varume.
Hallelujah,
Setting boundaries is healthy for you. It serves you well. You're not too much. You just know what you want.
Yes.
You know how you want to be treated. Ziva kuti nini munhu ndoda kuti kana achitaura nemi approach yake inofanirwa kuva so. And akauya neimwe approach isiri iyoyo muudze kuti maniga hazvisiri izvo zvatakawirirana. Kana makutaurawo neni mukashandisa nzira iyayi yandakambokudza iyayi zvinotibatsira. Ziva zvaunoda, know how you want to be treated. The other thing is my youth akawanda, they fail to be honest with their feelings. For example, I'll give you an example of myself. I'm one person who is I'm one person who is very open-minded and hot-headed. Yeah, it serves me well. So, if we are having a conversation and ndikafila kuti pane zvawataura zvisiri kundiitira, we tofanira kuti timake this discussion close to home, handizvo? Ndikanzwa kuti pane zvisiri kundiitira, I do not believe in bottling up stuff. I believe in sitting down ndokuudza kuti statement riya rawaita riya razondidai rikandidai. One thing that I've mastered is my approach, because I do not also want to end up ndakuoffenda mumwe wangu kana kuti ndakuita kunge ndiri mhuka. So I believe in sitting down and express my emotions. Ndakamboskupa umwe mufesi so
maoko ipapo
takaconnecta. Why? Because I allow to be myself. Anything chaitika mumwoyo mangu ainditendera kuti ndichiise patable sezvachiri. But ukaita munhu wekuti haadi kunzwa kuti uri kuti baby, there is something I want us to discuss watanga, you know. So you have to always make sure you're honest with your feelings. Very honest with your feelings. Zvinoita kuti umwe wako adzidze zvakawanda pamusoro pako and also know how to handle you ndizvo. Iwewo wacho mwoyo wako unogara wakachena usina zvigumbu, you know. Zvokuti ukachengeta tunhu twakawandisa usingaexpressing your feelings, you end up being toxic. Iwewe. Then you introduce the toxicity in the relationship. Hallelujah. Okay, the last one. One of the most common mistakes, I think, Mr. Senik, my bad, we end up sacrificing parts of our lives to keep a relationship. You neglect your mental health. You neglect, maybe it's a career. You neglect family. it's toxic. You come first. Relationship inofanira kuteverera iwewe as an individual anoziva zvaanoda. Invest in individuality. Umwe ari kungouya kuti mubatsirane kurarama life ndizvo. They are not coming to take away from you, but to edify you. Hallelujah. So, always make sure set my boundaries. Make sure that they don't end up taking away from you. You're always stressed out. You're not performing well at work, or maybe kuchikoro kana kuti kubasa. It's because your mental health is not in a good state. Ndokana ndichitaura kuti kune chinhu chinovhiringa vanhu vakawanda marelationships. Ukangorambwa ipapo unotanga kunzwa mudumbu, manyoka, musoro, kubasa. Paunoenda kubasa, you cannot function, you cannot perform well. Saka make sure your relationship is not taking away your mental health. Hallelujah.
Wow. I guess these snippets, we are taking them home, right? Moving on with our conversation, my dear colleagues. Let me take you back from school. How many went to school? Everybody, right? We knew the impact of the red sentence, see me. Who remember that? Everybody, now, where are we now working? We all know the impact again of the statement after every meeting, see me in my office. Then, some of us who are married, there is another statement that also comes when maybe we are about to sleep or we are just caught by sleep. We need to talk, right? That's conflict resolution in a marriage. There are red flags that we choose to ignore in the process of the relationship up until in marriage. Then it begins then to pop out get the point, which leads to conflicts. And the rate of divorces currently is skyrocketing. Get the point. But as coaches, how do you advise us as young adults anticipating to get married on conflict resolution, at relationship setup, and even at relations in state and also in marriage?
That's a good question. All right. So what I've discovered is most of us, we skip stages, right? If we skip stages, we're not going to be able to understand how our person understands certain things or certain challenges, or why we are in this particular position. Okay, why I'm saying we skip stages. For most people, especially our generation now, it's hi, hey, we are dating, tomorrow we're already sleeping together, right? So it means that already you have skipped the first process where I believe that there is a pre-dating stage. Before even dating, there's a pre-dating stage. You meet someone, right? You're just talking, you're understanding their mindset, how they reason, how they talk. This is before you even start going on dates. Dating is not even courtship, I'll go there. So for me, I believe there's a pre-dating stage, then there's a dating stage, then there's a courtship stage, then there's a marriage stage. If you don't skip these processes, I tell you, you would understand how you're able to solve conflict because you know this particular person. But the problem is we are skipping stages, right? You meet someone like I told you today, hey, especially on these days, there's Instagram. Most a DM, fire emoji, tomorrow, babe, you guys are already sleeping together. And now there's chemistry that is going to come in between, which you are going to mistake for compatibility. So now, once the sex is involved, there's a lot of chemistry going on that you're going to ignore everything in regards to, does this person even go to church? Does this person even think this way? You're going to ignore literally everything about this particular person because there's chemistry going on. And based on that, people even marry because of chemistry. Only to get in marriage and then understand, you know what, we're not even compatible. Why? Because you skipped stages. So the first thing that I noticed, how we are able to solve conflict or it's first understanding each other. Don't skip stages, especially as young adults. I'm gonna say this, guys, no matter what popular culture tells you, guys, no matter what popular culture tells you, don't skip stages. You only understand these things. You know what? You need to have the maturity of a person who's already 40 years old. As a 23-year-old, this comes from having their experiences. You don't have to experience every experience to gain experience. You can gain other people's experience and have that experience as your own experience. So there's a problem in trying to think that you have to experience every experience. That's where coaching comes in. Coaches are different from mentors. Mentors have to teach you from their own experiences, but they will never survive 500 years of marriage. But coaches will experience 500 marriages and have experiences of all those experiences. Talk to other people, right? How were you able to solve this issue? And then you have that wisdom that you need now. So the first thing that I watch is, that's the first thing. How are you able to solve conflict? It's from that understanding of your person, because conflict is different for each particular individual. If I give you a conflict resolution skill now, you might be shocked that it might not work for them, but it would work for us because I understand my person. So for me, I might not give you a conflict resolution skill, but I will tell you understand your person, because how they react to situation is different from my partner that I have at home. Because what makes me me is based on the experiences that that particular person had.
Right.
And this is what will make me understand how I'm able to have a conflict resolution with them. Let me not, say for example, your wife might say, let's talk. Me, I might not be able to, but you know your person, we want love language, my gifts. Saka, I can let's talk right now. Mangwana, let me go and buy gifts into town. My gifts are up. That's a conflict resolution skill. That is based on your particular partner. So this is someone who works so that I know day. Because you know when so chekutanga those on top of keep him stage. Once be someone who work from pre-dating stage. Open up dating, open up coaching. Because about to marriage, my red flags don't go on up there. So this is what I want to say. So my message to take home is understand your person. From pre-dating to courtship to dating, up until marriage, you can't tell me. But you don't know what to do. If I mess up, what do I need to do? I don't need to raise my voice. There are women that were raised in a particular environment where you don't need to raise your voice. So you don't need to use that as a weapon to say she doesn't want me to raise my voice, so I'm going to raise my voice. So it's understanding your person, then you're able to have conflict resolution that is based on their particular experience.
Wow. And don't raise your voice, but raise your argument, right? Wonderful. My sister, in the same spirit, I think you saw seeing what was happening, especially by Valentine's period. A lot of guys were being disappointed whilst proposing, which is already a signal of conflict not resolved in relationships. Talk to us. What's your take on that?
I think mukazona makusvika kumastage ekuti makuproposa nkona tumavhidhio zvakaita tuchisekereta sterek vachirambirwa it means pane zvinhu zvakawanda zvisina kushandwa. Maybe mukomana akangofunga kuti chakakosha is to put a ring on a finger, kana kuti to announce intention to marry. That's all. But like what Nick is saying, how have you built your relationship? Mamboiva akakusvika pakuda kupanana ring here. Mambozonzwisisana kusvika pakuda kupanana ring here. hadzisi dzango pressure zoda kungopfugamawo kuti kunyadzisei. Saka relationships take a lot of work. Pandakaroorwa, when I was 21, hapana zvandaiziva ini. Ndaiva tsaga chairo chairo. Yes. I was so naive. I had no experience. I didn't know rudo rwacho chii, marriage yacho chii. Saka this understanding yatakuwana, we are so much privileged. Actually, you are privileged. Ndakazouda hangu mbama. Iwe muri privileged. You are very privileged. Kuti mune mukana wekutombouya mogara tichishare like this. Take your time to learn munhu wauri kuda kuwirirana naye, kuzogarisana naye. Right now I'm 31. Ndane 9 years ndiri single mother. Handina kana pressure yokuti I want to go and get married. Because now I understand these things better. Now I know what I want because it has costed me. Saka it's important to take heed of these stages angachitaurwa na Nick. You won't go wrong. It's not a matter of you being in a relationship, Jay. If it's not serving you, kanjiraku azvinakana kubasa. And uri single, it's not a curse, it's not a problem, it's not akuzi kusaririra. Kusaririra kushingirira relationship isiri kushanda. So it's very important to take heed of what Mr. Nick has just told you. Anyways, back to conflict resolution, I just wanted to add kuti when we're resolving conflict, unofanirwa kutsvaga nguva yakanaka yekutaura nyaya dzenyu, because pane nguva yekuti my emotions anenge ari overboard. Zvokuti mukada kutaura ipapo chichingotaura my emotions chete, misodzi ndiyo inenge ichingotaura chete, pasina kana something chiri logical or something chiri factual chinobatika. Saka always choose a good time to talk. Panewo vamwe vanototi we need to talk, wotoziva kutoti hondo yatanga. But kune imwe we need to talk iri healthy, which is what I want you to apply and invest in. Make sure you know the problem iri kuita kuti munge muchikakavadzana. Ndizvo. Because you cannot solve problem yamusiri kuziva kuti ndo dambudziko rediri. Dambudziko redisi hatigoni communicate. Uyu ukangomuti why, akutoti why kuita sei kwacho, you know. So know kuti dambudziko renyu nderei. Dambudziko rako nderekuti haagone kupfeka zvaunoda here. Identify the problem. Rizivei mese. Hamuna chamunosolva kana dambudziko richizivikanwa nemunhu wani. Mese munofanira kuriziva. And you should not ignore the problem. Hallelujah. And also when you are talking, take turns. Haisi nguva yekuti munhu wani ndiye ega anogona kutaura. Kunyanya vakadzi. It's true, women are very emotional, but we are equally logical. Kana wagara patebho nemunhu wako muchida kutaura, prove kuti dzinodhonza. Prove kuti uri kunzwisisa what you are talking about. Prove kuti haisi nguva yemusodzi, inguva yekuisa mafacts patebho, toonesana. Ndizvo here. Saka you take turns. Ndakambodana nomwe mukomana so aiti tikanetsana aishedza meeting.
Youth. And also, finally, what's your take-home message to those who are watching us live and those who are going to listen to our messages as they are going to be recorded? We say, now you can relate more than us.
Okay, my advice is love yourself, invest in yourself, always be on your side. I always say this, be on your side. Every time. Invest in loving you before you commit to loving someone else. I think Mr. Nick said it. Have a life. This quote na Beyonce. She said, have a life before you become somebody's wife. I tell her, Maskan. Have a life before you become somebody's wife. When I got married, like I said, I didn't have a life of my own. Then go home, I don't go home, church. You know, wafundisi wabva vatofara kuti muchato yawedzera muchechi mangu apa vana kana vokudzidzisai kuti marriage yacho chii, you know, you're just following blindly. So it's very important that you invest in yourself. Take this opportunity to know you, because my 20s, time in my 20s, even my 30s, Manuel, time yakazara ne-confusion for the 20s. Yakazara ne-confusion. There are a lot of things you need answers to. There are a lot of things you need to figure out. There are a lot of things you need to understand about you, about your future, and what you want to become. Saka, it's not about you rushing to get married. Don't do it. Don't do it. Lukutaura is a single mother who later realized that my way. Inga upenyu zvatoramba kapo. Ukamanyira mama, like I said, kuti my relationships anokuaffecta in a way it is serious. Ukamanyira kupinda mu relationship, mu marriage, usati wazvidiscover iwewe, uri kuenda kunorarama life yeumwe. You are no longer doing this life as an individual, but wakunoita mvuri waNiki. Iwewe pachako hatichakuzivi. If you were meant to become a doctor, it's shuttered off because wafungidzira kuti marriage ichakupa it's a form of work rinobhadhara mari pamwedzi, and you have neglected your dreams just to be married. Haizi nyaya yekuroorwa, inyaya yekuti zviroto zvako zvifambidzane nezviroto zvemunhu uyo, uye watanga wahwisisa kuti iwe wacho ndiwe ani. The time that I wasted by now, ndingatenda kure zvinoshamisa, so ndiri wezhira. Ndingatenda kure zvinoshamisa neupenyu, but time yandaka waster, yes, I wasted it, but it was out of kusaziva, and it was also good for my experience. But use this time that you have to focus on making money, focus on becoming a brand, like Pastor Jeff said. Be a brand. It doesn't matter what you but be a brand. Know yourself, love yourself, be on your side every time. Marriage will come to complement zvagara zviripo. Also find uturarama upenyu usiri hwako in the name of marriage. I think I end up with that. Thanks.
Wonderful, wonderful. I don't think our ladies in the house, may you repeat after me what she said. And the Megiji? Money. And Megiji?
Money.
Make money. Give the capacity that when you're hungry for pizza in town, open your wallet,
Yes.
not your legs. My brother.
Right, I'll just add on briefly to what Alison said. I have said already. Kuti, your single time is the most important time of your life. You don't need to then, after my years, also realize later, so your single time, being single is a blessing, rather. Right? That's the time that you're able to discover yourself, know who you are, know what you're supposed to do, know your purpose. Right? Know your purpose. Know that there's a difference between your purpose, your career, your job and your vocation. Your job is not your purpose. Right. Your career might also be a job that you're passionate about, but that might not be your purpose. I want you to look at Coach Jeff's life. This man, I knew him when I was a kid back then, and he was a presenter, right? This man could have said that presenting is his purpose, but you look at the hats that he now wears. That tells you that this man discovered his purpose. But you're not going to go in this orbit right now, that's not your purpose. It's just a bridge to where you are supposed to go. So you're not going to go to your job might be something that you don't like. I've done jobs that I didn't like so that I could just pay my bills. It's okay. And you can have a career that you're also passionate about. That's not your purpose as well. Your purpose is something that you know God is calling you for, something that is inner, that is divine. So always know that your job, your career, your purpose, and your vocation, those are 4 different things. So know your assignment, know what you're called by God to do. Your single life is a blessing. And punish something you're not actually controversial. During your 20s and 30s, like what Alice was saying, there's something that I call the blessing of immaturity. Immaturity can be a blessing. Let me explain. That's the time that you're able to make every mistake that you can. We won't call you out. Do you know that Stripe My C was started as a a person that was pushing for indigenization, was very big in politics. Guta. I want you to go and research that. Right now, people know Strive as a billionaire, but his early life as a young man is not known. He was a very radical young man. So, don't go with try no time yacho. Because when you get to your 30s now, but you know, I must not be able to make my mistakes. So even if it's in dating, red flag, it's allowed to move on. Ramba, I'm being honest. Ramba, go ahead, find another person, date them. It's not as good as long as you're not sleeping with all of them. So find that person, move on. Time you between your 20s and 30s, that's what I call a blessing of immaturity. I can give you an example of Holy Ten. I hope what I'm saying is not controversial. Holy Ten right now, what he's doing, he understands the assignment. I know people might criticize me for this. Holy Ten understands the assignment. Time you know, do a trend to make money, make a name out of yourself. When he gets to 40, he's gonna relax like Wingiti. Wingiti doesn't respond. Who told you that Wingiti when he was 20? And that only violence. Honestly, Wingiti would die on his. Right, exactly. Music, if you don't know it, you might think the gaffer is what he is now. But there's what I call the blessing of immaturity. Even if you're a pastor, when you're young, that's the time to be noise. Do something crazy as a young pastor. Do a miracle, let people call you out, let the papers talk about you. Also, Shkoma 50 now preach about love and forgiveness. Now you're now preaching about love. You can't be preaching about love and forgiveness and you're 22 years old. Nobody knows you. And a pastor, the boy right now, our pastor, is now love, forgiveness, salvation. Our pastor 78, they've done everything that it is to ministry. You are right now, you are not known. You're not business-wise. Some of you are to be affiliated with politics. Who told you that they were not affiliated? Longopa is an example. But be radical when you're going up. Right? Do everything that you can. As long as you're not, you know what I'm trying to say. Do everything that you can. Is what I call the blessing of immaturity. When you're immature, you know what, Mr. Stripe is now a billionaire. But nobody knows his early years. That's my point. Use this time to discover, to do everything that you can. Because, do you know right now if Shaddai repents? Do you know if Shaddai actually 40 years, I will preach a different gospel. I'm not in the right to say he doesn't preach the wrong gospel or whatever, but I'm just saying, at a certain time, I'll preach something different. Zita even Madam Beng, I apologize. We're just going to say, Now he's talking about business and it is. My point is, use your single time. Use your time when you're young. Be radical. Do everything that you can. No matter you're a business person, you're a pastor, whatever that you're called by God to do. But obviously, don't make certain mistakes. You will regret for the rest of your life. Spoiled for the rest of your life. That's my advice.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, big and resounding round of applause once again for our panelists. You can do better than this, ladies and gentlemen. You can do it better than this. That's more like it now. Yes. In the interest of time, I'm going to entertain 3 questions only.
It's a conditioning that we have to deal with. Graduate. That you have to do with. Why would you lose your power because you have had sex with someone? It's a conditioning. You think that your power is in, zvakafanana nevanhu vanopusha gospel rokuti mukadzi anechiremera ndemavegins watinoti once you lose your virginity you are no longer nechiremera watinoti it's a conditioning yatakapiwa in our African society, especially inobata kuvakadzi kuti ufunge kuti your whole life revolves around chiuno chako. Unofanira kuti iwewe ufadze murume ukasamufadza anotsvaga kumwe. Unofanira kuti uve virgin ukangolose virginity hauchisina chimiro. Unofanira kuti urare nemunhu anokuda akakuramba hauchisina, you lose your power. It's a conditioning. You are a woman and you have full circle wakadaro. It has got nothing to do nezvamunoita pambeda kana nezvichi. But zvekuti muite kana kuti musaita. But now I believe that maybe courtship, because dating is courtship. Zvinoitika mudating ndeyekuti ndodanana naNicknas akandibhowa ndomubva to the next. But ndikarara naNicknas ndonorara naJohn nhasi, ndonorara futi neuyo nhasi. Idating kai tikuzama tipakutsvaga, it's dating. But once you get to courtship level, maybe nadana Nick itambozama tazvichengetedza tosvika courtship level, ndopatita kuda kuzoona kuti naini but unozopinda mubaba zvinozo very controversial. But uzopinda mubaba umu zvinonoshanda here. Saka maybe courtship it's allowed. Maybe that's me thinking. Maybe courtship is allowed because kune vanhu vari kusafa marriages because vakangopika sekuziva kuti vachasangana nei.
I tried to debate nice now. All right. I thank God. She actually said it's though like how she views it. I'm gonna give a different perspective to it. Right, like I said, I don't care what popular culture says. Right, I'm just gonna give wisdom on how I understand things. Sexual energy is the same as creative energy. Right. So sexual energy was not just supposed to be used for sex alone, but it was an energy. The moment you meet a man and a woman meets, there's an energy that is there that is able to create mana, which means with the energy you're totally creative in its nature. So when God created this particular energy, it was not only supposed to be used for sex, but there's what we call sex transmutation or power transmutation, where you're able to convert your sexual energy to certain things around you. I can relate to what she's saying. Because of that sexual power that you have, you are using it for other different things. So the moment you're sleeping, it's an energy that has been spent on something else, which is not the energy that you're supposed to be using it for creative purposes. People that are married might know this. Right. Pane time yekutoti warara nemukadzi wako or whatever that you've done. then like you feel like a part of you has left you, right? Which is good in its nature, but you are bonding with tuning wako. That's why you notice kuti vanhu vakarora vanopedzera kufanana. And mambo you notice people that really love each other and have married each other for a long time. But chimunota baba na mai chisamba. No Google. So because of that connection and creation going on, it's creative energy that you can be able to use. That's why Isaac Newton died a virgin, if you didn't know. Say Isaac Newton died a virgin. He was one of the most creative people that are there. I always tell people, let's say they don't believe in my beliefs. Mira sex for the next 6 months. I want you to see what happens in your life if you are not married. I want you to see what happens. So for me, I always believe, should you do it, should you not do it? That is something that you can choose on your own. But my beliefs on sex, and I'll take it also on a biblical perspective, is what we call actual comfort. And I'll just say this fast so that you know better. There's what we call actual comfort. There's what we call a substitute of the comfort or alternative comfort. Sex was designed by God to comfort. That's why in the Bible, every time when Munarara Nemunzons and he was comforted, it's not just the Holy Ghost that can comfort you after pains and sorrows that you've experienced over the years. Even sex can make you comforted. Kana wanga on a depression, a broken heart over the years. So it's called actual comfort. Our generation is so broken. That's why we are looking for comfort. That's why there's a higher premarital sex level, because we are looking for comfort. So we end up sleeping together because we are looking for comfort. But the problem is this is not the actual comfort. It's an alternative comfort, which is like Isaac and Ishmael, like Abraham. He slept with an alternative. And what happens with an alternative? You will fight the actual blessing. That's why there's a war between Palestine and Israel, because the actual comfort is fighting with an alternative comfort. So our generation is broken. That's why we are looking towards what we call sex. Kuwana desire yo ya zero to no fana we channel and go. Shukura what we are broken to the healing. You know when you go marriage, kana wa sanga ni munhu wako wana comfort. Right. So should we do it? Should we not do it? Tungogo baya kuti unokwanisa kuzviita, unokwanisa kuzvirekedza. Ndounoziva kuti kutsvake. Sexually active.
Most of you ladies feel that you are used after sex is because the majority of our ladies or girls in the society only have sex to offer in a relationship. Sorry to be blunt on that, ladies and gentlemen. Vana vedu pamotaro wana my sister wants to make money, get the point. So that when you sit at the table, like what you said, you're meeting with your boyfriend, you also put ideas that are productive, that are energetically productive on the table, not only teasing. Are we together, ladies? So in a sexual productive program, don't have to learn emotion and tender. Don't offer matitis only. And get the relationship. Offer let him feel a vacuum can also spoke with the period. That berry right now, I don't know pizza. All right, in my family, so I'm married and I'm proud of my wife. Parenya is a daughter. Kana zavundo zavundo kamunanika. Do banagoda is very madam. My wife she solved this. Why? Because she has brought more value than in the family into my life than only body structure.
Yes.
Wonderful. One last question. Chatoro wanangu. Last question. I can take one last question.
Like ndakarambana nemunhu ka I still andine kamwe ka connection kandongoramba ndinako. So like izvezvi what happened was like last year part 1 ndakaita musikana this other guy. Serious. Ndakaita musikana this other guy and it resulted into creation and saka with this guy ka toneka connection ngekuti like antombodi mushaya but anabasa mupenyu wangu. Serious, but ka connection ikako ameno andizoti how do I move on? Because I really want to move on because I know kuti anabasa. Thank you.
Wonderful. I guess it's an are facing difficulties in dealing with heartbreaks. the mental health issues associated with outbreaks. Thank you, Pastor, for signaling that. My brother Nick, I think you can just say something on that.
Right, I'll just say something quick in regards to this one. I think already, Kumongo to Tanyaradzwa, it's an issue of therapy. But people turn konofana kuti anonzi wisdom for letting go. Because ukasanzwisisa kuti chi noramba uri stuck in that particular phase. I always say kuti sometimes a heartbreak is just your heart that said I need a break. I've taken too much pain, I need a break. It's a wisdom of understanding which you need to let go. It's not everybody that comes into your life that is supposed to be there for a long time. People come for different reasons into our lives. And when they come into our lives, it's us who are supposed to understand there are certain relationships that are not supposed to last. Some that are supposed to die so that we may live. Like for you, that relationship has to die so that you may live. Kunzwisisa first chatinoti wisdom on letting go. Wadaro unzwisisa okay, tanga connecta nemunhu yanditi. Chi chakaitika, what happened? You take the lessons from there. Dopa notanga futi self-love. Nopamba chitaura nyaya kuti pakuti you need counseling and therapy. Kuti how are you supposed to love yourself? Kuti after warambwa, like what Alice was saying, unopesera kunzwa mudumbu nechakati. Inda kutaura ichokwadi indikarambwa 2-3 days nendapo. I'm being honest. 2-3 days nenato right. I've reached a certain level of self-love whereby I know if you leave me, that love for myself still remains. Because when you came, it was already there. But it's a fallacy when you have not reached that particular space. But chekutanga inonzi wisdom on letting go. This person, there are certain relationships that are supposed to just come for a season. Then you let them go. Even chiromanga itamwana. And it so you need that particular understanding. My relationships are nowhere for a season. What to drown? Like Jonah always come home. I should change my once I cried from the pillow of your. And get to relationship it's a for a season, right? So you need to understand that. You just need wisdom on letting go.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause for our panelists.
A lot on relationships, and now we can go back home and do our very best to rectify what we can. And I think everyone shares the same sentiments. With me, Mr. Tanyaradzwa, please come through. We just want to thank you, ma'am and sir, for gracing this occasion. We hope we will work with you more in the future. We trust that we've all learned something this afternoon, and we are looking forward to many more adventures together. Thank you so much.
My panelists esechazo kuboro ma pictures that maenda naye. Nomwe kwenye uzat maenda tokoti kashakaja. Wana ma iPhone moyo badusi.
Okay, so thank you so much, our panelists, for the amazing information and amazing nuggets of wisdom. You know, many of the love that affects all the areas of your life, be it business, be it at work, because boyfriend are bit serious, you might not perform well at work, and even the business. So thank you so much for the powerful insight. As I was talking to you before the actual event, I just want to thank you because I think you're one of the supportive guests. You know, the guests that show, appreciation of the work that we're doing, the guests who are excited about helping young women, guests who are excited about creating change in the lives of young adults. And the way they delivered the message, it was so passionate, it was so, they poured, knowledge and wisdom. So I am very humbled, and on behalf of everyone, we want to say thank you so much. And may the dear Lord bless you abundantly. So, Madam Alice. With this token of appreciation, we just want to say thank you so much, Madam, for coming and the message. We appreciate. Sir Tinaani Nick, thank you so much, sir. We are very humbled. Did you come with a broccoli waiting for my boys? Please do. I need it. I need it as a person. So, sir, with this token of appreciation, we just want to say thank you so much for the wisdom that you shared with us. We do appreciate. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you. Can we give one more round of applause?
So in the morning we had a public speaking contest. I don't know if we call it that, but anyway, we had 4 contestants, and this is what we're looking at. We're looking at your time. It is already stipulated. You have to be within 7 minutes. Your use or command of English, your introduction, your body, the body of the speech and the conclusion, your body language, your voice, especially your intonation, confidence, content, and rapport with the audience. So having said that, I want to call upon the first speaker, the first contestant was Panima Hikwa. Would you like to come? So I give you your feedback quickly. Please come up. So Panimaha, is that correct?
Yes.
Panimaha, okay. So you did fantastic. We liked your work. Amazing. The one thing that stood out, because you're the only person that did that, you didn't stand behind the podium. Public speakers do not stand behind the podium, especially if you're in a contest. So you did that very well. Your dressing was on point. Your voice intonation was great. Your command of the English language, damn. That was really good. Yeah, it was good. You used amazing examples. You really showed us that you were global mindset, but a very localized use of examples. So that was good. And your points on the conversation at hand around monetization was very good. I think that's what we got out of it. And I myself and Jesseline were the adjudicators. So there you have it. That was it. I'll give you a feedback and then I'll tell you who was number 1 and who number 1 to 4. I'll tell you the ranking. But everyone is getting a token of appreciation, so you can step aside as we call upon Michelle Lamina. Just step on the side. Michelle, quickly. And your time was 6 minutes, 36 seconds. Michelle, thank you so much. Your dressing was on point. You took 7 minutes 30 seconds, which is way above what we expected you. You were behind the podium, and we didn't really see your energy coming to the audience because of being behind the podium. And you used Shona. You were supposed to make your speech in English, so that also really was a struggle. And your points, they were well arranged. They were really amazing. They were clear and concise, and your argument was really good. The only thing that was there is it was not balanced, so you really bashed Lobola, but there was no other side. But thank you so much and well done. We really enjoyed listening to you. Julius Chibeba, I didn't get that. Is it Chibeba or Chibeba?
No, it's
Chadeba. Oh, all right. We're not sure because it wasn't very clear. So thank you so much. One of the things that stood out about you is you're extremely soft voiced. You know, you have a fantastic, soft, calm demeanor. Very powerful points that came from you. Your argument was extremely well balanced. We could feel your passion. And I like that you're very authentic because you did share that, look, Inina as a man, I really love the Lobola because it's a good token of appreciation. So well done, and thank you so much. We appreciate that you came out. And thank you for all those amazing points. Yeah. And then our last contestant for the day was, let me just Oh, your time, Julius, your time was 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Talent Sikochi. Talent, your time was 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Absolutely powerful insights that you gave. Amazingly balanced argument, because you gave both sides of the argument. And one of the things that we spoke about was how you used the contrast of culture and then coming on with a balanced argument around what you were talking about. We really thought that was powerful. You didn't speak for long, but your points were so loaded, which was really good in terms of the flow. So it was really good just having you say that. And one of the things that kept coming between myself and Jocelyn is the balance in your argument. That's one thing that stood out for us. Your argument was very, very balanced. So thank you so much for that. And the flow of what you were saying was very, very clear. And that made it easy for us to follow through. So thank you so much for that. And so having said that, let me just make sure that I don't get this wrong, which could be very embarrassing. So having said that, this is the order of how we ranked the contestants. Coming up at number 1, before I say this, you all did amazing, right? We were given the very uncomfortable position of having to rank you. So this is our human ranking. Okay. So I was asked to start from number 4. So coming at number 4 is Michelle Amina. Let's clap hands for Michelle. And you're going to get your award now.
Sorry, Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Tinaani, may you please assist me in editing?
An old saying goes, never tire clapping hands for other people when they make it, so that when you turn, they will also celebrate you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
All right, great. And then at number 3, we have Julius. Sorry, Julius, your surname just, yeah, I'm so sorry. Remind me your surname again? Chadeba. All right, so Julius Chadeba is at number 3. Thank you, Julius. At number 2, we have Talent Sikochi. And then at number 1, who is the winner of today's public speaking contest, is Panimaha Hipa. Welcome. And thank you so much. Would you like to stand up, please? Because this is really important. We did it together. We win and fell together. So thank you so much to the adjudicators and the great work done today.
Wonderful, wonderful. Takubira mazvijudicators vatorooma picture kane utekwa watsika muzora nhasi. Wonderful. Kataombere maoko. Whilst they are being photocopied alongside Madam Tanya, you can join, and also Waka, you can also join. You need to Instagram. Yes. Then we go site again. Whilst we are being photocopied, wonderful. Make sure you miss 6 baby. Wonderful. I'm still selling this gentleman, I'm still selling these guys for lunch. You might not disclose the amount you want to buy them for lunch this moment in time, but you can.
For what is it? And thank you so much for walking for the elegant look. And just because I'm still elegant, you look ravishing. Thank you so much for making this a very, very. But thank you so much for making this a lovely event. This was amazing. So, Madam Faith, is Faith here? Faith Chikira. Yes, Faith. Okay, so for and on behalf of the Tanyaradzwa Initiative, MC Boulders.
Yes. Hey,
Okay, so MC Ballers, thank you so much for the time that you dedicated to, make everything flow. I think you do attest to the fact that this was amazing. MC Ballers was so amazing and very eloquent. I mean, even if it was accent in here, but it's not what it is. So thank you so much, MC Ballers. But they chose to give us value, they chose to be here. Sir Jefferson, we do appreciate you for staying for the program. I know you had to rush somewhere, but you had to support us through the process. We don't take this lightly. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. Sir Tinaani, I know has just stepped out. Thank you so much for staying with us for the rest of the program. And then in absentia, Madam Alice Tagwira, thank you. I'm sure she's going to see the video. Madam Emilia Chisango, thank you so much for being part of this panel discussion and giving value to the young people. Madam Chantal Girardi, Madam Shamisoji Karate, thank you so much for accepting our invitations. And I think there is nothing that they left no stone unturned, and happy are those who are going to go for lunch with them because they shall have more knowledge, more wisdom. But I just want to thank them for the value that they brought to us and the amazing work that they're doing in their spheres of life. I would also like to thank the organizers of this event, the Self-Love Project. This was amazing, guys. I know it was really, really pushing people. When you set up, where are you? Go ushering, where are you? Go entertainment, where are you? We've been planning this event for months now. And guys, you did it. You did it. Look at this. Look at everything. You did it. Madam Project Chair, Gloria Mario, well done. And may this not be the last event. We also want something again this Sunday. And I'm so happy that it's not debut to any of Moya message. That means there's a lot of future in that project. Thank you so much for this amazing event, Tanyaradzwa. And also our amazing Ashes Ruvimbo and Karen. Thank you so much, guys, for making this lovely. Whenever there's a good thing, there's always someone in the background. And thank you so much, Waskana, for everything. And then Madame Runyara, who was our chief operations, but she made sure that everything was smooth sailing. So we really, really appreciate you. Right. And then the boards, the 2023 board members of the Tanyaradzwa Initiative, some of them, they couldn't come, some of them, they came through. Thank you so much, guys, for, the diligence, the resilience, the planning from scratch. I remember, guys, there's supposed to be cocktails and cupids in November, and guys, look at it now. Thank you so much for supporting even the project members, such that we have this amazing event at the end of the day. And at this moment, I also want to thank our advisors who are supporting us. Organizing is not a walk in the park. There's a lot of things that is involved. With the event there's a lot that is involved. So I just want to thank our photographer, Nanyasha and Ruby as well. Guys, I cannot even imagine. They just woke up, guys, we're going to provide this for you. So if you had a photographer, please tell them to go. And I was like, this is manna from heaven. So thank you so much for the amazing work that you do to support, because you're not doing this for just the board, but you're doing this for the board, because every information that we have right now, every person who was at this event is now an ambassador. You're going to be an agent of change. Whenever you see something going wrong, you know what? You are an ambassador in the sense that in the community, you're going to take that information to them, and you're going to, share that same knowledge with the guys. You know what? This energy, divert it to creativity, walla and stuff, right? So thank you so much, guys, for everything. And then I would also want to thank our advisors. There is Mr. Onward Gibson, Madam Audrey Chidawanika, Madam Faith Nyamkapa, and Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo Eddie, yes, they are the ones, you know, Hansi, when you stand, you know, so you're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And all of our partners, Beta Occasions was, Madam Tendai, thank you so much for coming through, exhibiting, and I do hope that Matura my contacts are. And Shulon's in a Snoop Dogg, last but not least, I want to thank me. The government is not stand. Yes, I believe that this is a vision that came from God, and I believe that God gave me this vision. So I just want to thank God for making me a disciple. Yes, I am a servant leader. So it means that's why I'm didn't know God, but it comes to I'm here to save all of you. So if you feel like there's something that you need, you know, because this is not my thing, this is God's thing. It's not my thing. And even if it's food time, I'm the last one who should eat. I am the one on Fanakushaya. Why? Because this is God's thing and it's meant to serve the people. So every time I have to be last because we are here to serve the people, we are here to serve you, we are here to serve God. Because I think this is the ministry. Hallelujah, Pastor Jefferson. Amen. Hallelujah, Pastor Sarah. Okay. So I think I've thanked everyone, and also you guys, you could be sleeping, but you said no. We're going to invest this time in knowledge. We're going to invest this. We're going to invest in our knowledge in this thing. So I really want to thank you guys for this commitment. I really want to thank even my sisters. They came through. Also, your sisters, support. I almost cried. I didn't know they were coming. They just showed up. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda, Raquela, and Fari. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Over to you. Oh, sorry. And the public speakers. Hey, guys, it's not easy. 5 minutes. But it took hours of research. It took hours to practice. It took, guys, it's not easy to stand in front of people with Chitaura. Most people, they suffer from stage fright. I just want to thank you for your commitment. And like what the judge said, you're all winners. And our amazing judges, Maona, from the introduction to the end, the way they, seeds everything, it was really nice. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the energy put into this. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.